here. I think... Do excuse me. I think this should be on now. Can anyone confirm? Let me just double check a few things. Ah, good, good. Right. Suppose I'd ought to get this show on the road then. Yep. Right. Hello there, everyone. My name's Artorius Winchester, scholar of the Dreaming Glade that I'm currently stuck in. And welcome to this, my first broadcast of sorts, to whoever may happen to be listening to it. Probably more of a reference thing for later on, but hey-ho. I prepared a little something for this first stream today, since I believe with these sorts of activities it's normal to do a little bit of a self-introduction before diving straight into it, so that's all this is going to be, really. Just a little bit about me, a little bit about what I'm planning to stream in the future, maybe a song or two at the end, since I hear that's kind of the in thing to do, and then I shan't take up any more of your time than I need to, essentially. So, let's get started and see if this breaks everything, because it might. The contraption I have rigged up to do this is temperamental at best, shall we say. Oh, and my mouse cursor shows up if I move that over there. That's cool. Okay. Note to self. Do it via here. Or don't do it via there, since that window doesn't show up anymore. Nice. Right, well, anyway. There we are. So, who am I? As I've stated, my name is Artorius Winchester. I'm a scholar who specializes in the study of kind of dreams and dream states and such. And not to toot my own horn, but I was pretty damn good at it, and still am. I led, I say led, like I had other people with me. I basically managed to discover a link to the collective subconscious, the land of dreams, if you will. Which is where I currently reside, and as mentioned before, am somewhat stuck in. Because you see, after making my breakthrough, which was, I mean, pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, I rushed through the portal I'd made to this collective subconscious, and kind of watched in dismay as it shut behind me, because, as I said before, things I build tend to be a bit temperamental, apparently. So, I spent a while traveling about through various kind of bits of dream worlds. Lost track of my age. I'm 20-something, I believe, although the something is very hard to tell because this place doesn't really have a day-night cycle. And then, have you ever had those things where people dream in slow motion? Yeah, similar sort of thing here occasionally. Like, time is all sorts of whack. So I'm an age, probably. And yes, so, what did I do after that? Oh yes, lots of wandering around, then a bit less wandering around while I polished up my humble abode back here, with a few of my favourite things. I'll move myself out the way a bit. Well, in fact, I'll tell you what, I'll do that after I finish this little presentation. But, yes, I've made myself a kind of comfy space here. In here for quite a while, as you can tell. This thing isn't, you know, it's not exactly like a tent I just put up. It's a lot of furnishings. It is made more helpful by dream logic, mind you, but you know, still took a while to get the hang of it. So, aside from that, what else was there? Oh yes, built this place, and then I discovered, you can probably see it, I'll just kind of, I guess I'll use my head to point to it. This thing up here that I have a picture of. So this, I found this on my travails around the, what I'm dubbing the Glade of Dreams, since I discovered it, I can call it what I want. Well, I didn't theorize the collective subconscious, but I was the first person to set foot here, so that's got to account for something. Although I guess Armstrong didn't name the moon. Semantics. I discovered this kind of rainbow-hued tree, and through it I heard a series of voices. And essentially, by studying the reflections in the dew off of this tree and the sounds coming from it, I learnt about the world of what I believe you refer to as VTubers. It's a kind of new area of stuff for me. I'm not really from my time. But from what I gather, this is just the in-way to communicate. So if I was ever going to send out an SOS, this seems like the way I'd do it. So that's kind of partly what's brought me here today with this, building this kind of broadcasting device. Hoping that one of you people out there, I don't know, has any kind of scholarly background or knows about psychology and dream states, because if you could maybe pick up where I left off and come get me out of here, that would be just grand. I would quite like to go home. Not that this place is bad, mind you, but yes, you know, just me here. Moving on, anyway. I understand that, obviously, if I was just a repeating SOS message, my message wouldn't really gain that much traction, I believe. So, I've decided to prepare a number of different streams based on my kind of personal hobbies and interests. Now, those are, of course, the gentlemanly arts, which are drinking, fighting, and gambling. I've got plans for all of these, so, and some other things in the future. So to start with the drinking streams, I'm still waiting on a couple of things to come in for these, so I wouldn't expect any this month. Maybe I'll start doing them next month. But yeah, I have plans to take other kind of VTubers and content creators that I've seen through my glimpses in the kind of the rainbow-hued tree, and making cocktails in honor of them. I've already got a couple of ideas for a few that I've personally been keeping an eye on, but I would obviously welcome suggestions from anyone who happened to be passing by, if they wanted me to make a cocktail based on their particular favourite kind of virtual creator, as it were. I think that could be a fun little exercise, but as I said, just waiting for a few more parts to come in on that. The next one is fighting, so while I could handle myself in a scrap just about, I think, although it's been quite a while again, been stuck here for a while, while I could handle myself in a scrap if push came to shove, I'm much more about the mental game side of it, shall we say. Which means that I am obviously a fighting games enthusiast. Am I any good? I'm okay, you know? I wouldn't say I'm, like, you know, out here winning large-scale tournaments, but I can hold my own. So I'm obviously looking to stream things like Guilty Gear Strive for the moment, Street Fighter 6, whenever that comes out, or if I get in the beta. Capcom, please, don't do this to me again. You locked me out of the last one. Please. I want this one. Other than that, might even get the a stream for the game where it all started for me, Skullgirls. And if I've still got legs by that point in the content realms, then Project L in 2025, I guess, is when that's coming out, would be rather magnificent. And aside from that, I also have, now, gambling streams. Now, when I say gambling, I basically mean very one specific kind of gambling, and that gambling is poker. I have a few chips and some dice kind of laying around on my table at the front here, but basically I'm an avid poker player. Once again, not the best, but certainly not the worst. So I'll be planning to stream that, partly, for the entertainment of all of you good folk out there, but also partly because I'd like to be able to watch some of my... And I'll do this with the fighting games as well, actually. I'm not sure I didn't mention it there, but I'd certainly like to do games where I watch my own stuff back and kind of commentate on what I did wrong, what my thought processes were, find some solutions to those problems in the future. Something which I would also, if people wished, be willing to do for others in the future, which kind of brings me on to my future goals. So, obviously, this whole VTubing thing is quite new to me. It's something that's going to take some getting used to. You've probably already noticed by the amount of kind of like ums and ahs and all that. Free-form speech such as this is not the most natural thing for me, but we do persevere in these trying times. But, yes, so what I'd like to do first and foremost is start producing content and then start producing better content. It's going to be a kind of slow road, I guess, but since there's likely not many people watching this one anyway, that's just fine. I'll get the hang of it eventually. Other goals, so as I said, I'd like to build up a full catalogue of drinks, cocktails, if you will, based on different kind of VTubers, V-streamers, whatever you wish to call them. So I feel like that would be a very nice thing to do, particularly here on YouTube, just have kind of like a catalogue of the streams where I'd kind of go through how I'd potentially, what ingredients I'd be putting together to make them, then maybe some cut-down videos on kind of just the actual cocktail itself being made. Huge inspiration there, and I'm going to call them out in those streams when they happen as well. But absolutely huge inspiration from a guy called Soulbomb here on YouTube. Made basically the entire VA11 Hall A cocktail menu, and I have tried almost all of them at this point, and they're all fantastic. They live up to the names. Some of them I can't stand, but I still appreciate. Yeah, whoever conceived mint liqueur and didn't immediately go, "This is just mouthwash," is strange, shall we say. But, yeah, so huge inspiration from him, and I'd like to build up a kind of full catalogue of these kind of VTuber-based drinks. Other things I'd like to do. I eventually want to be able to kind of be in a good enough place, and it'll take some getting there. I think I have to work on myself a bit first. But, I would like to be able to perhaps not open a school as such, but definitely have some guest streams where maybe I take players who are, or like other streamers, I should say, who are like newer to fighting games and looking to get into them, and just help them lay the base, kind of lay the groundwork and learn the basics, so they can start having fun and thinking about, the mind games as opposed to which button does what. And they don't have to do what I did, which was spend 250 hours playing Skullgirls and wondering why I lost every single game. Yeah, that was a bit rough. Not an uncommon experience, mind you, but I feel like I could have cut about 150 hours off the losing streaks if I'd have, not just tried to brute force it. But hey-ho, lessons learned. Other future goals, let's see. I've gone through the cocktail stuff. I've gone through the just generally, being a better host, as it were, I suppose, for this sort of stuff. And I've gone through the looking to teach people fighting games, once I've got the skills to back it up. Oh, and I suppose I do have one other future goal, I guess, which it's a very imminent future, because, as I mentioned, I'm probably going to do a little bit of it at the end of the stream, but I'd like to improve my singing. I think I'm not terrible at the moment by any stretch of the imagination. But I can sense there's room for improvement. And yeah, I think maybe even just having this stream as a record of where I started when I started streaming would be nice to look back on in the future. So yeah, I'm basically just saying I'm definitely singing at the end of the stream. As for stuff I'm going to do this coming week to kind of get the ball rolling, which is an awkward time to start, to be fair, because we have Christmas in 2 weeks, and yes, I think I may be attending some vigils of my own there, shall we say. So I can't promise how many I'm going to do over that particular period, but for this next week, any day's fair game, and these 3 in particular are the fairest game. So on Monday, I'm going to do a bit of Guilty Gear Strive, kind of getting back in the saddle, because it's been a little while since I've sat down and really had like a long play session. So we're going to be trying to get into Celestial this month, maybe if we come across some really strong players, kind of taking some replays from them, having a look at them, seeing if we can work out, why they were so good and how I can potentially navigate around them in the future. In case anyone's wondering, by the way, I have got to Celestial before multiple times, so I can get up there. Can take me a while, some months, but the important thing is, if I keep playing regularly and I keep doing this kind of stuff, I'll improve, which means I'll be in a better place to let other people improve. Either by watching how I critique my own stuff, or by potentially critiquing theirs. Their like replays and stuff, because that's a stream idea potentially. But I digress. We're doing Celestial grinding with I don't think I've actually said who I play. I'm a devout Jacko main at the minute. The only way I'd switch off is if they announce Robokai, and they're never going to do that. So Jacko all the way. So that's Monday's plan. And then Wednesday, we're going to swap over to another one of my kind of favourite activities, and we're going to do some games of Poker Chase, which is a site for playing poker, essentially. Yeah, looking forward to that. I'm a little bit rusty on that front as well, I have to be honest. I think I've only really been doing like the daily logins to get the free stuff for like free gacha tickets and that. But yeah, it'll be nice to kind of sit down at the almost highest rank again and probably get my butt handed to me. But yes, we'll see about that on Wednesday, I suppose. And then Saturday, I'm throwing a bit of variety into the mix in the absence of the kind of cocktail making streams. And what I've heard from reliable sources that you can apparently jump an entire infamy rank in Payday 2 in about 3 hours if you know what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying that I don't quite believe this, but let me just quickly check, how many hours do I have in this game? Because I think I only recently hit the point where I could reach infamy rank 1. This is probably not making a lot of sense to anyone who hasn't played Payday, so for anyone who doesn't know what it is, Payday is a kind of like, I guess, bank robbery and general crime simulator. Quite a fun game, very silly. It's got some goofy stuff in it. And yeah, so I've just checked my Steam, so to get to infamy rank 1, which essentially means going from level 1 to 100, it has taken me 170 hours. Because that's my total playtime in Steam, and like that's yeah, I only hit level 100 myself, the point where you can go to infamy, or I guess prestige is a better way of doing it for anyone who's more familiar with that system. Yeah, that's essentially what that is. Now, someone said you can do this in 3 hours. Now, I know I wasn't being particularly efficient on my, runs. Like, I definitely spent a good chunk of 10 or 20 hours trying to do a really hard stealth mission, and then it crashed on me when I was about to finish it, and I'm never going to let it live that down. Goddamn framing frame. But, yes, I'm basically very, very intrigued to kind of see this strategy in action. So I thought I'll grind out a bit more before Saturday, make sure I have a full perk deck ready, and then I'll see if I can run it, see if we can get through the full 100 in 3 hours. My guess, sorry, is probably going to be no. I'm expecting to get to like level 50, just because, again, going from 170 hours to 3 hours is like a lot. It's a lot of time. But we'll see what we can do. And yeah, so with all that out of the way, I believe that is the end of that particular presentation. So before we move on to the last little thing I want to do, I thought I'd show you around my room here. So let me just centralize myself. So I've got a number of obviously, you know, various books about, mainly almanacs, which I've filled with, you know, various denizens and areas and phenomena of this dream world. Truly a wealth of knowledge here that I really wish I could bring back to, you know, the regular waking world, but no such luck on how to find a way back yet. I've also got a couple of bits of apparatus here for decanting and mixing drinks, and I'm not actually sure who put this mug of blue stuff here, but yes, that's kind of in the vein of drinks I can make, kind of wild and fanciful things. I've got some dice and just a handful of kind of quite large poker chips here. Some of you may have already noticed a couple of references to like some of the fighting games I particularly like. So we've got a little Gordo, kind of, which I'm bonking with my head here. Terrible idea, by the way. Very spiky. Don't do that. Ow. But yes, so we've got King DDD's Gordo, because I used to play a lot of Smash Ultimate. Not so much nowadays, but I used to, and he was my go-to. And we've got Jacko's Chiron, or her like kind of ball and chain, over here as well. So I guess the eagle-eyed one, you might have already spotted that I was a Jacko main. Right. But anyway, so as promised, I will leave you with a couple of songs now. Now, I've got two kind of queued up to go. One of these is, I guess not something many people in this space will have heard before, but it's actually an old German opera song, because I used to sing a bit of opera back in the day. And, ooh, one second. Just gotta sort something out. Yep, there we go. Sorry, I was just making sure things were queued up and ready to go. But yeah, so I used to sing a bit of opera back in the day. And like I said, I don't think I was too bad at it at all. I wasn't the best by any stretch, and as I said, you know, oh yeah, right, just gotta chat about this. The room looks so cozy, especially for this weather. Yeah, thank you very much. I did, you know, I did want it to be kind of a nice, warm, inviting space for myself. And for anyone watching the stream, obviously. Just a nice place to kind of take the worries of the day away. But yeah, so I'll have... Words. Yeah, so my first song is going to be Oasis and Osiris from Die Zauberflöte. And depending on how well that goes, I may have a second one. But let me get that queued up. Okay. Now, I'm kind of flying blind on this one, I should say. So, I'm gonna queue it up and sing it so it sounds fine on my end. But if people in chat would like to kind of just, I don't know, make some noise if it sounds like I'm horribly out of time, or if like one bit of audio is balanced wrong. Something I should have asked at the start, I guess. I'm just going to hope that my audio has been balanced all this time. But yes, we'll see what we can do here. Just get this going. Oasis unter Schenket der Weisheit Geist dem neuen Paar. Die Erde wandre Schritte lenket, stärkt mit Geduld sie in Gefahr, stärkt mit Geduld sie in Gefahr. Oh, it has been a while. Lass jede Prüfung Früchte sehen, doch sollten sie zu Grasse gehen, so lohnt der Tugend Küchenlauf, nimmt sie in euren Wohnsitz auf, nimmt sie in euren Wohnsitz auf. And there we are. There's a little bit of that. Hopefully, I haven't got too rusty on the singing front, and that wasn't like fingernails down the blackboard. But, and also, hopefully the audio was balanced fine. So, yeah, you know what? I'm feeling good. We'll do one more, and this is for something a little bit more modern. And still not in English, so any native German speakers, or as this is going to be, native Japanese speakers, I apologize profusely for butchering the pronunciation of your languages. I'm terribly sorry. I'm British. Taking other people's stuff and then ruining it is kind of our raison d'etre. Case in point, I just used that wrong. Yes, so the next song, which I'm going to do, and the final one for today, is going to be a little song from Milgram. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's a song series by Deco27, does a lot of Vocaloid stuff, still does a lot of Vocaloid stuff, but he's also been doing some songs with actual people, and this is probably my favourite one of them. So without further ado, let's get half going. Ooh, but before I do, actually, I'm going to point out one small hitch with this. Oasis Into a Series had a nice kind of run-up where I could time where I'm coming in. This one is vocal lead first, so I will do my best to make sure... Words. There we are. I will do my best to make sure that I'm in time with the music, but the first verse might be a little bit wonky. And also, I only finished learning the words to this, like, earlier today, so the latter half of it may also be a bit wonky. But, we try anyway. So, let's give this a shot.
また会える呪いが胸を縛るまたねが終わりって聞こえた気がしたんだあなたの心が変わってくれたらなんてありえないと思いは浮かんで消える
Tomoe, not Tomoe. Oi. That's good. That's one of the bits I got on you. Oh well, keep going.
確かめて苦しむならばこのままであなたのそばにいて笑い合い肩を並べてこの距離が幸せのミスリードどこで間違ったのか初めからだろうまた会える呪いが胸を縛るまたねが終わりって聞こえた気がしたんだあなたの心が変わってくれたらなんてありえない正しさを教えて嘘に染まった思いは浮かんで消える
You wouldn't believe this is actually closer to the top of my range than it is the bottom because nothing is written for bass voices these days.
試したり触れてみたりもあなたには素直らないだろうなはみ出した恋というでしょうわかるからいつも通りでいいよあれこれ思い出すことは消せたらな今までお時間が傷をつけて気持ちの明かりは揺れることを選んだ隠し続けるのを不幸と呼ぶなら言葉一つもあなたには届かない会える呪いが胸を縛るまたねが終わりって聞こえた気がしたんだあなたの心が変わってくれたらなんてありえない正しさを教えて嘘に染まった思いは浮かんで消えるきっとずっと変わらないままお前バカだなって笑い合いて知らない方がいいこと誰か臆病なだけずっと前に諦めたこと今になんてなんでこういうぐるぐる知らない方がいいこと誰か臆病なだけ But that 確かめて苦しむならばこのままであなたのそばにいて笑い合い肩を並べてこの距離が幸せのミスリンド
And there we go. Slightly butchered that second one in a couple of places, but yeah, like I said, I started learning it a week ago, and I can read some Japanese, but I am decidedly Nihongo Jozunt on that front. So I think considering it was a decent attempt and, a decent first mark. But yes, so for anyone who's still here, thank you very much for watching this kind of introductory broadcast. I will see you on Monday. Hopefully. Also, fun fact, I do not have any outro